Hello everybody, my name is Lisa. This is my corner. That's what it's been renamed because I can't sew anymore because of my neck and my shoulders. So I have diversified. I have bended with the change of direction. So in this little corner, there are a couple of things I like to do. I like to stay warm under a variety of little blankets and scarves. I watch the weather go past. I draw, I paint, and I art journal. Recently I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole with regards to Japanese stationery, and it has returned me, it reignited my love of paper. There is a word in English, well obviously it's Greek Roman root, papyrophilia, and it is the love of paper. So I know these words can encompass a very large spectrum of loving something. I'm up the shallow end. I'm just, enjoying different types of paper and different formats of paper, and paper from different countries. I mean, it's endless. It goes back to school, obviously. My early career with paper was that big set, that stack of new copybooks in September, pristine, just lovely. And I wanted them to stay pristine. I wanted my nicest writing, and I wanted them to be lovely, works of art. So from there, obviously, you end up with pencils, don't you? Pencils and papers. And some of them don't, and some of them work together, some of them don't. So that was the start of that. And as that grew, then I ended up finding out about this paper called Hanji paper. It's Korean paper. There's an adage in Korea that silk and hemp will last 100 years, but good Hanji paper will last 1,000. Now that is a testament to paper, not only in its beauty, but we owe civilization so much to paper. Without papyrus, literacy wouldn't have spread. We wouldn't have the ideas of Plato and Socrates and Suetonius or, Marcus Aurelius. They all wrote on papyrus, and it allowed literacy to spread amongst, the common person. Then came the Dark Ages, and for whatever reason, papyrus disappeared, or it ran out, or the supplies fell apart, but then it was vellum, and it was monasteries, and it was little men in cells working by candlelight, not candlelight, rushlights, tallow tapers, and everything receded for a while. So even though we are in this electronic age and everything seems to be at our fingertips, we can't turn our backs on paper. And to me, I didn't realise that there was a whole thing, there's a whole situation with paper, and it's like a revelation. It's like I can now be honest about my paper situation. I can now come out and say I am a papyrillophilia. I love it and I don't care. But what was becoming a concern was back in March, my spending on paper started getting stupid and haphazard and utterly and completely unjustifiable. So what I had started doing was an art journal. I don't know why, I'd seen something about art journals. So I picked up an old bullet journal that I had. This was from Tiger, and as in common with many notebooks in my house, and maybe in the houses of other papyrophilias, many notebooks are half finished. So I found this when I dug it out, and I started to do this. I'd seen somebody doing something, doing a double spread across the pages, washing with watercolours. I do like this one, it's very pretty. And being highly decorative. and little bits chopped out. Lots of washi tape as well. That was another discovery. So this one started, and as well as that, picking up little random things that I was coming across in drawers, making little envelopes, little pockets, sticking everything away nice and tidy. And they were like little treasures and gems that I found. But what I realised was, as much as I enjoyed this, there wasn't the writing and the decoration didn't reflect each other. There was no continuity. It felt very random. It felt all over the place. But as a warming up place, it wasn't a bad start. But I then heard about the Travellers Company. These beauties. This one in particular. This is the 003 refill blank MD paper white. I don't know what MD paper white means, but I've got 3 different ones here. This is Traveller's Notebook, right? So I don't know, I came across it on some stationery haul thing, and I just thought I have to have that. I also have to have the little archive folder. Now, they got me hook, line and sinker now, because I won't buy anything else. I want everything now to be absolutely uniform. So the way this system works is you have your little inserts, and then you archive them, OBS. But there's like a system of, so there's a little system of rods in the back, and they all sort of slide in under each other, like so. And you have everything lovely and neat, uniform, very appealing. Now, so I'm limited with space, and I had seen a video about a Japanese gentleman who every day on his little walk, or whenever he's gone around his business, he'll pick some object up, be it a leaf or some little piece, and he'll put it into his notebook, and he keeps them. And they're little sort of memories of a day, snapshots of a day. So to that end, my husband found a withered up chili pod. We had grown it ourselves, and it's the first time he's grown. So this is a selection of my journals, notebooks, and you can see the scattergun effect here. To start with, naturally, king of the pile, Moleskin. These are like just a few of them, but obviously the Moleskin, the lovely creamy paper. I love this size. This is nice for sketching, but I use it for like appointments and telephone numbers now. It has had other sort of manifestations, but this is what it is for at the moment. The Electerm 1917, which is German, I believe. This is a blank as well. I've enjoyed that. That was good. That's one that's been more or less filled. More Moleskin Cahiers, these sizes. And then I went through this thing at Christmas where I bought just brown paperback notebooks from Amazon. I think they were like £4 or something. A little A6 one and an A5, and I covered them with fabric. And there's a how-to about that somewhere around here. I'm looking down here, there's more, but we don't need to be doing that right now because we'll be here all day. Now, the other thing, since discovering the Travellers, Travellers Company, it also has brought to light the fact that I don't play well with planners, schedulers, bullet journals, any of that stuff that's meant to organise you. It doesn't work for me. It brings out the mule, and I kick back so hard about, you've got to do that to check off a list. I don't want to check off lists. I don't care about lists. This started as a bullet journal, and it annoyed me. It just annoyed me because I just get overwhelmed. So what it is now is, if I need to jot down a telephone number or a date or something that then I put into my phone later on, that's fine, and I can go back and I can see it, and it's there for all and ever time. But if I keep on to this endless, you see, the thing is, it's an endless horizon, isn't it? There's no end to it. And it starts to feel like Groundhog Day, and I'm looking, something keeps getting brought forward and I get more and more resentful about it. It's really, really, really strange. This is my current sort of daily sketchbook. And yeah, Michelangelo's got nothing to worry about just yet. But I do that every day, and I find that very, it's a lovely way to start my day. It focuses my mind. I enjoy that, and it's just for me. That was £6 or £7 from Amazon as well. So there's all of those. I'm going to put those away now. Okay, so next up, pens, pencils, and other stuff. Okay, so I need to make a comparison about something. I read a biography of Royal Talens, and he said the only thing that he would ever write with is an American yellow legal pad and this Common or Garden pencil from America, which I'm sure if you're an American you've had these at school, the Dixon Ticonderoga HB2 Soft. Okay, so we lived in America, and one of the first things I did was buy a stack of these and a box of these, and I don't get that. I did not enjoy this combination. It felt juddery, it felt uncomfortable. I didn't like the way the pen moved across the surface of the paper. We went to the Royal Talens Museum as well, and when I saw the markup on these, I brought a smile to my face. But yeah, I didn't, as a combination, I didn't appreciate it. Maybe you guys do. I suppose these have been made famous by every legal drama ever to have been seen. But yeah, and as a page size, it doesn't fit in folders here in the UK. There's a different letter size in America or something like that. So anyway, but it didn't cost me the world. So I've spent $7 in Target or whatever it was. So you don't have to. However, these babies, these lovelies, these are Mitsubishi smooth writing pencils for office use. It's a bog standard pencil. This is an HB and this is a B. They're Japanese, and I heard about these from a Chilean illustrator by the name of Fran Menses. I'll put her details below. I discovered her YouTube channel, and she talks about these. So because I'm such a sheep, I ordered them, and I'm so glad I did. They are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful to either write with or sketch with. They do both jobs beautifully. They don't wear down very quickly. I mean, I know that looks like it's been thoroughly abused, but it takes a while for the nib to wear down. As a sketching tool, it's beautiful. It responds really beautifully to even the slightest change in pressure. They're buttery, they're silky, and they work lovely on the Travellers Company pages. So that brings me along. So I would highly recommend these. They are £1.75 from the Journal Shop, and I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I got these from the Journal Shop as well. The archive box is £12.50 and the inserts are £4.50, which I think is okay price wise. I think it's all right. When you think what Moleskin costs, or the Lecterm, or any of the other, because let's face it, there's variety upon variety out there, they're not mad. Now, the other pens that I've fallen in love with, this one, the Kuratake, again this was Frannerd recommendation. It's Japanese, it's got a nice sort of a brush tip on it, it's very lovely. The gel, the ink in it dries nice matte black, it doesn't do that cheap horrible greeny black. That's nice on the lighter paper on the Travellers Company, but the outright winner is the Muji 0.35mm. Perfect. That's the perfect pen to me. The gel, again, it dries nice matte black. It's something about the nib grips the paper beautifully, so you're not sliding all over the place. That's my only issue with that, when you're kind of sliding around. This one, this is a beauty to write with, and my daughter got me a pack of several for Christmas, for which I am most grateful. I have to say, in the journal shop, that's a place you could get very lost in. And if you are same as myself and you love all things notebooky, go handy. Just check yourself every so often. Fill your cart up, go away and have a think about it, go back and have a look and ask yourself, do you really need that? There's some beautiful pens. There are some gorgeous fountain pens that, you know, I can't right now justify it, but yeah, they're on my list of things to get. My husband has a Mont Blanc, and it really, I mean, genuinely, you spend a few quid on a nice pen, it's a totally different writing experience. It really, really is, if you like to handwrite. Now listen, I don't do calligraphy. I watched somebody last night who is improving their handwriting. Now my handwriting is nice, it's legible, it's all the rest of it. But like I said, my journals aren't works of art, they're from me. And they're not, I'm not going to get into all of that. But yeah, I do like my handwriting uniform, and I do like to keep it neat and tidy and legible, but that's as far as it goes. These are not that sort of a journal, but I think I've said that before. Anyway, on to the next bit. Now, my thing with these Japanese stationery and Japanese vlogs and hauls is that I love the way that in Japan items are, it's not embellishment, but they're turned into something much more than just utilitarian. They become something else. Now for an example, this is an Elmer's glue stick, right? It's a glue stick, and it's got a picture of a bull or a cow or something on the front, so you know exactly where that's come from. Compare that to this. This is a Japanese Tapioca Starch glue pot, and it's for kids. It's for school. So that's what it's like on the inside. It's obviously it's starch. So there's that. Isn't that gorge? Isn't that cute? Isn't that just dinky? So I want to keep that out somewhere because it's so appealing. It's, you know, and I've seen lots of other glue pots, and they're just like standard stuff that the kids go to school with, but that's a lovely thing to hold, to touch, and it's actually quite strong. So I've used it, and it's very satisfying to use. It's a good outcome with it. Now listen, I swore to myself I wouldn't do this, but I did. Oh wait, hang on, just to get, that's £4.50. It's not bad. Stickers. Yeah, I swore I wouldn't, but I couldn't. I genuinely couldn't walk away from these. Look at these babies. It's that Japanese dog, I don't even know what it's called. Yeah. Fab. And I bought one for my daughter as well. That was the pretext. I was going to buy one for her. I think they were £2.50 from the journal shop. Cult Pens is another place. I had beautiful service from Cult Pens. Where is it? Hang on. No, can't find it. They, again, it was that lovely service, that lovely delivery of everything very mindfully put together, and I got a little packet of Sweetheart Sweets. Do you know somebody's eating them? Can't you imagine who? They're gone. But yeah, and again, here's another example of just that that thoughtfulness, that extra little bit that Japanese design goes into. This is a little paper clip. It's got a, I'll put a photo if you can't see it. A little face on it, a little smiley face. Love it. So I think that's the attraction with Japanese, Korean, Eastern objects, is it goes beyond what you'd expect, and that I love that the everyday becomes something as well. It gets just another thing done to it. Now it doesn't stop at that sort of stuff. I got one of these now, years at Dymo. I remember the original. And I love the font on it, and I love the way that it's been embossed into the plastic, and the way after you've left it for years it all curls. I loved it. But I bit the bullet and I got one of the electronic ones. This is wonderful. This again is, this satisfies the little bit of me that would like to be organised, and it has been really useful. I have labelled all my art stuff, so I'm not staring at boxes. I know what's what, and what, like my oils, my gouaches, my acrylics, brushes, hog bristles, and as well as that, like cosmetics. So some stuff like serums, I'll put the date that I bought it on with this, and I've got obviously all my notebooks. They've all been labelled. I have organised the hoo-ha out of my house, but on a system only I understand. Or like, do not touch, it's mine. The other thing I brought, and this was another Frannerd recommendation. It's this ruler. Now listen, I might be reinventing the wheel here. There's some of you out there might be going, what, you never knew about these? Sorry. If you like parallel lines, look, I thought this was genius. Look, the little roller, it moves across, so you can really, you don't have to, there's no lifting, okay, self-explanatory, and little holes, so you can precisely mark off. There'll be no more guessing. That little dot on your page is exactly where you need it. This, however, is thoroughly wasted on me. Circumference, tan, sine, cosine, whatever. No, over the head. My husband's an engineer. He gets hot for this sort of stuff. He knew all about these and never told me. So that was an Amazon purchase as well. A rubber, a little mechanised rubber. That's brilliant. I use that a lot for drawing and sketching, just for doing very precise little bits. So, those have been all my purchases. The ones that I'll admit to. And I forgot to mention these guys earlier on, to give them an honourable mention as well, from, I think, Cult Pens, can't remember. Ecoline liquid watercolour, also a recommendation from Fran Menses, Frannerd. Really intense liquid watercolour. This, I think these are like sort of pastel blue and a pastel rose pink by Royal Talens. I think they were £3.50. And what I've done with them, isn't that cute? So I just blobbed it on a couple of times, let some water run through it, and I've outlined this little lady here and down here. It's the most beautiful effect. So obviously you can use it really, really undiluted, which I've done here, or then next to nothing. So, if you want to try something different, these are great. Really enjoyed them. I can't say I'm proud of every single one of them, but I am very, very pleased with myself that I now have a system of notebooks that makes sense to me, and I will use them. I won't be all over the place. I'm going to know exactly what I'm doing every day, and I'm going to be able to look back in them. It's all going to be lovely and perfect and fabulous. And every single moment of these momentous times and hours that we're living in will be recorded for posterity, for the generations to come, and they'll think, well done, Granny. So thank you for joining me. Please like, please subscribe. If you love paper, if you've got any recommendations, if you have something that you've fallen in love with, if you've got a system that you use that you'd like to share, do join in. There's space for everybody, and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you for joining me, and I'll keep forging ahead with adventures in paper. Come back and see me again soon. Bye for now.